Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Season 8 of Stand Up and Stand Out. Para te y desticate. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Nikki Green. Throughout the past 8 seasons, we have worked to showcase some incredible guests with eclectic backgrounds so you can see that success comes in many shapes and sizes. On our path to episode 100, we have some new inspiring interviews to celebrate this important milestone of our podcast. As I add retreats into my coaching program, I'm looking forward to meeting more of you in person and connecting with you beyond the podcast. I hope you enjoy Season 8, and I look forward to hearing your feedback and comments on the fascinating topics we will cover with each new guest.
Well, we are back for our 101st episode of Stand Up and Stand Out. I can't believe that we just had such an amazing celebration. Welcome to Para te y desticate. We are bringing back one of our most amazing guests and my friend, Amy Fuentes. How are you, Amy?
Doing fabulous. Thanks so much for asking.
I can't believe it, but you were on episode 20. So you've been here throughout the journey of the podcast and stuck around and still are my friend. I can't believe that.
Yeah, the friendship just grew and fostered over 100 episodes. That's amazing.
Well, we met way back when we were kind of kicking off our businesses and learning to be speakers. And since then, we've done lots of crazy and amazing things to grow our business. I know you have even more amazing things coming up. So I thought I'd bring you back for kind of a repeat episode. And let's talk a little bit about some of those amazing milestones that have happened in your life, your career, that have got you to where you are today.
You know, it's so funny. We never know if the things that we go through are going to be good or bad, right? We just keep our fingers crossed that they all work out. And I have gone through, as most people, we go through all sorts of transformations and curveballs, and some we hit out of the park, and some we bunt and run like hell. But I've had my fair share. Let's face it. You've been on the planet long enough. You get your fair share. And some of the standout ones for me, there were probably like 3. One was around money. Way back, 20 years ago, my husband and I moved into our dream home with our 2 kids and our 2 dogs. And shortly thereafter, as life would have it, we got a curveball and our household income got cut in half, literally overnight. And I was a stay-at-home mom and I just cried. I ate a lot of ice cream out of the bucket and I cried and I cried. And I eventually got into an industry I had no business in called the mortgage industry. I didn't even know how to use a financial calculator, Nikki. And I was thrown in and sink or swim, and I swam like a mad dog. I was in the industry for a little over 10 years and hated every minute of it. The best part, besides the paycheck, and even that was never worth the effort, was that I got to really educate and help people get into homes that they needed and deserved, and also kept people from overextending themselves into situations that they had no business getting into. That was really rewarding. So where's the catalyst? There's a couple of things. First of all, from stay-at-home mom to now working in an industry I had no working knowledge of was a huge transition for me and my family. But then after 11 years, my husband kind of looked at me and said, "Why are you still doing this?" And I said, "I have no idea." And at that point, I had actually had a dream. When we were moved into our dream house, Nikki, for those of you who are in septic tanks, you will understand this, but people who live on septic tanks cannot flush their ick. For those of you who are like, women have these items that they typically flush in public toilets that they can't flush in their own public toilet when they're on a septic tank. And when I was first introduced to this, said to the guy who walked us through, I said, "I'm sorry, what?" And he said, "Yeah, you can't flush." And I was like, "What the heck do you do with it?" "Wrap it in a whole roll of toilet paper." And I was like, "There's got to be a better way." And in fact, at that point in time, there was not. And so I had this idea. Anybody ever have an idea for a product that you thought was great? And then I was like, "You've got no this with that. You don't have an engineering degree. You don't have a mechanics degree. You don't know about packaging, about distribution, about you have no business in doing this. And then the idea got louder and the tap on my back got harder and harder until I was like, and the next thing you know, I took one baby step after another and I created a product called Pond Packs, which was a biodegradable zip top bag for the disposal of used feminine hygiene in public places. That was a huge transformation for me, right? To go over the process of 10 years, to go from deeply in debt, from being hit with a curveball, half our income, was not prepared, did not have a savings or an emergency account. My savings was my credit card, let's face it, anybody who can relate to that. And dug myself out, went into an industry where I had no working knowledge, got into creating a product for the women's restrooms, which again had no working knowledge, applied for my own patent, wrote it myself because I didn't have the money, because I didn't, and so that was a huge change for me.
Huge.
And then let's fast forward a little bit further. Those were multiple changes over 10 years. And then when my kids left the family home, oh my gosh, you guys, I have been through some serious wild curveballs, some difficult times. But I tell you, none has been as difficult as what I call the 1-2 punch, which was empty nest and menopause hitting me at the same time. It not only ripped the rug out from under me, let's face it, as women and as moms, as parents, we know this is coming. We're lucky enough to make it to that point. We know it's eventually coming. If we've done our job right, they're eventually going to leave. The part that I didn't realize was how devastating that was going to actually be for me. For those of you who are going through it, my heart goes out to you. I am actually doing round 2 of empty nest because my daughter, who for some extenuating circumstances moved home for a little over a year, just got a job in another state. So she's not just moving out. We didn't all, come back together and bond and become the closest of best friends because we were in each other's everyday waking moment. But now, as of next week, she will be leaving not just my home, but the entire state. And that has thrown me back into the whole empty nest feeling and heartbreak, crying, weeping. It's tough. It is really tough.
It's amazing how these lessons that, you have over the years, a lot of women have experienced that. It's such a difficult thing of a lot of times too, this trade-off that you have to do between motherhood, between taking care of your family and also then providing financially for your family. And sometimes you have to take crappy jobs that you don't like. And sometimes you end up doing them longer than you would like. And I think that there are a lot of these crossroads too, where physically we're changing as well as, a lot of other things are happening in our family. And I think a lot of people underestimate that impact. It's like you said, this 1-2 punch. And I know you're also reaching out to help other women feel more empowered and feel more connected so that we can help each other through some of this. And so maybe you can share a little bit about kind of what's coming next and how you're going to help women in this way. Because I know you're super excited and I'm super excited to be going as well.
And everybody should be there. Well, everybody should be there. So, yes, I'm super excited because of these transitional, pivotal moments throughout my life, because I had a dream that I actually got to see fulfilled, because I dealt with some difficult financial stumbles and obstacles, because I did the emptiness, not once, but now I'm going through it for a second time, right? Menopause with the hormone. So at a time when you're physically, mentally, and emotionally just in an upheaval, I realized through all of this that as women, number one, we don't ask for help. We go through these things by ourselves. We get really quiet. We don't share. And I'm here to say loud and clear that there's a better way and that you're not weak and you're not incapable and you are not judged because you are going through a period in your life that is not the most uplifting. It may surprise you in the long run how uplifting it will eventually be, how liberating and empowering, but right now it feels like shit. And so I want to create an environment and a place that was safe for women to be supported and given the tools to empower themselves, because this is no harm or foul against men. I'm married to one. I love him dearly. And this isn't his fault. This isn't his fault. But men have a different way of looking at fulfilling dreams, and they have a different way of putting things in boxes. And I recently was talking to a gentleman who had just purchased his dream airplane, and he was recounting the incredible experience of going to pick it up and how he had like an incredibly bonding experience with my husband, who flew back with him. He took 2 days. They had laughter and so many adventures. And he asked me why I was doing this. And I said, for that exact reason. And he looked a little bit confused. So I asked him, when was the last time your wife had an opportunity to go away for 2 days, have an incredible experience working on her goals and dreams while connecting and bonding with others? And he looked at me like a deer in headlights, because Nikki, he never told his wife that she couldn't do it. And he didn't need to, because as women, we don't give ourselves permission to pursue our goals and dreams. We put them in a box on a shelf and we say, one day when the kids are older, when I have more time, more money, more resources, more connection, then I'll do the thing. Then I'll write the book. Then I'll do the product. Then I'll start the business. Then I'll get serious about my health. Then I'll do whatever it is. And I'm here to say it's time to make this day one and not say one day. That is why I did the Women's Empowerment Experience, to create an opportunity and an invitation and give women permission to actually leave the family home for a short period of time and come and pursue their dreams, make connections on a deeper level. Look, it's one of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the belonging. Is that not right, Nikki?
Absolutely. It's such an important piece, and we spend so much time at the bottom of that pyramid helping so many others around us. And it's time that more of us do take that time and energy. When you and I were together in Costa Rica, one of the things I shared is, it's been very challenging for me over the last years. I didn't have kids, when I was younger, but all of a sudden in my new relationship, I had 3 kids in 2 years with 0 pregnancies, and it was equally as challenging while I was going through my own transformation of becoming a stepmom for the first time. And the complicated relationships you have with kids that, come from a different partner. And it is such a crazy thing as you're trying to build your business. And so I think that there's many women right now who have left whatever corporate career or things that they might have been in, and they're on a new path and they're looking for an experience to really help them continue to make that journey and find a supportive community. And I know your events are one of the ways to do that. So when is this great event? I can't wait to show up on your doorstep and join.
It is October 12th and 13th. It's a Saturday and Sunday, so you don't have to take time off of work. It is a long weekend, so you have time to go back and do your grocery shopping and do all of that. And unlike a lot of events, as Nikki said, we're public speakers. And I don't know about you, Nikki. I've attended and spoken at a lot of events. And they're amazing. They're inspiring, motivating, informative, empowering, and they're also overwhelming. And in today's environment, everybody seems to think that more is better, right? Let me give you 6 speakers in an hour instead of 3. Let me, insanity amount the amount of it's great nuggets of information, but it's too much. And then I don't know about you, but I go home, and I'm like, well-intentioned. I'm like, that was so cool. And I step foot in my house and shit goes crazy. And I was like, wait, what was that? What I said? How am I going to do that? Oh, I can't remember how they said it. No, not at the women's empowerment experience, because we are actually less is more. I've curated this in a way to allow women to implement the information that is going to be shared and create their own personal roadmap. Not follow mine. What worked for me isn't going to work for you. But I want you to create your own and start implementing it at the event so you can work out the kinks and make sure that it kind of works for you. And then you'll be able to be empowered, not just at the event, but long after the event as well. You won't have to figure it out how to do it, because you'll do it at the event when you have the support of everyone around you who says, yeah, here's a better way of doing it. That's a little bit convoluted. Here's an easier way to implement that, because I'm not here to waste people's time and money.
I am so excited for this event because, like you said, it's empowerment. It's right now. We're not going to let another day, another minute, another hour go by before we take action on these big goals, on these dreams that we have. And maybe some of it is more of personal development, and maybe some of it is career or business. There's a great blend, I think, that's happening. And for us to be able to open up on both sides and be able to be more complete and really feel like, hey, I've got the right people in the room to help me make this path. And I'm going to lead with a plan, not just a bunch of Post-it notes and business cards that I never follow. So I'm super excited to join you. And I know you've had lots of twists and turns in your journey and so many great lessons. What specifically do you think inspired this event? And I know you said like you've gone to a lot of events, so have I as a speaker, and you're sitting in the audience, and there's probably some pivot where you were like, not this one anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm going to do it better. So maybe think back to what could that be? When was that move?
Well, it was actually the reverse, which is interesting. Instead of, I've been in a lot of events where I'm like, not doing it this way. But what really inspired this particular event is a women's leadership conference that I spoke at about a year ago in Wisconsin. And the energy in the room, the compassion and the warmth and the love and the true kindness and caring for the others that were in the room was off the charts. And that day, I felt something that I had never felt at any other event ever. And I said, I want to bring this feeling back to where I live. And I want to do it a little bit differently, but I want people to feel this love and support and kindness that I felt that day in Wisconsin. And you know what else? I with a little bit of Amyism in there, right? I gotta make it some fun. So we're getting it DJ. We're really doing it up right. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I mean, yes, will it be transformative? Yes, but so many people think transformative is hard work, and there is work involved, but it sticks so much better when you're having fun doing it. And so there's going to be a lot of opportunities for interaction. So you'll make those connections, whether for personal or for business. You'll make those connections for friendships, which are so near and dear and for so many difficult to make as we get older, and have a blast doing it. Well, we're all taking those baby steps, one baby step at a time, closer to the goals and dreams that we have in our hearts.
It's going to be so awesome. You know, I love a good chance to dance, no matter what's going on, whether it's the grocery store or something on stage. So, and I know there's going to be a number of amazing people there, but I know there's a few spots left that we need to fill. So we are, helping you promote as much as we possibly can, because we know no one is going to want to miss this event, and build this legacy for themselves. So one last time before we sign off, let them know where they can learn more about the Women's Empowerment Experience, and if they want to connect with you, where they can find you.
It's funny. She's showing you here. It's the THE Amy, A-M-Y, Fuentes, FUENTES.com/events. Now, it's funny, when I said that at one time, recently, actually, someone thought that I was saying V as in Victor. And it's not the Amy Fuentes. It is the or the. It's THE, like the one and only Amy Fuentes .com/events. And as far as connecting with me, I love to connect with people. So please check it out. I'm on all platforms. You guys, I'm even on, I have over 100 people followers on TikTok. And so on TikTok, I'm on IG, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on YouTube. You can catch me on all the platforms. I'm sure Nikki will include it in the show notes, but you either get me from the Amy Fuentes, not V as in Victor, THE Amy Fuentes, or Amy Fuentes, but most of them have the because there was somebody else with my name that wasn't me. So one or the other, you'll see my smiling face, and I would love to connect with you there.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hopefully I've trained my audience of the Nikki Green will know how to find the Amy Fuentes. And I love that we have that in common. Well, Amy, it's never enough time to spend with you. We need to take another tropical vacation, this time with less waterfalls, more margaritas. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in Virginia soon. And I hope some of our audience will join us there. We are really, all of us, trying to get back to in-person events. I think it's so critical. We can only make so much connection. I think virtually it's nice. It's convenient for that time in between, but I think it's time for us to get out of our seats and get moving again and get dancing on the empowerment dance floor.
And you know what, Nikki? One last thing that I'd like to share is so often people are nervous about going to in-person events, right? Especially if you don't know anyone there. And so, number one, don't let that stand in your way. You may come knowing no one, but you'll leave knowing everyone. Hey, you now know me and Nikki. We're going to be there. We're going to meet you and greet you and welcome you with a big old hug. And so you do know at least 2 people at the event. So don't let that stop you from coming.
Fantastic. Absolutely. I am the best wing woman. So anybody that needs a little chauffeur to go around to meet people, I will be there to escort you. You'll get a personalized service from the Nikki Green at the Amy Fuentes event. Alrighty, kids. Well, believe it or not, it is time to sign off. We had fun with Amy like we always do. We laughed, we cried. It became a part of us. And now we're excited to come together again. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you'd like to learn more about Amy, don't forget to check the show notes for those links. And please subscribe, like, hit the bell, the button, whatever all the things are on the platform where you are listening. And you'll catch us where all the cool kids hang out that do podcasts. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening and celebrating our 8th season and 100th episode. We hope you've enjoyed this week's show. Please don't forget to share your thoughts on this topic with us across our social channels. You can find them at the NikkiGreen360.com. TTFN, this is Nikki signing off.